Hey guys, welcome back to Holistic Homesteading with the Hursts. I'm Megan. Today I wanted to show you guys what a day in the life is of homemaking. So this day was fairly cold and windy outside, and as you can tell, I did not get dressed for a long time. But I usually start out by making the bed. Once I get that done, I feel so much more accomplished. And then I did some laundry that was long overdue. And our house has to be swept daily to make sure that it stays clean. We have wood coming in for the wood stove, and even though we try to keep our shoes off in the house, it just always ends up with some kind of dirt. So I try to sweep daily. Also just trying to clean up some of the house, like do a little extra every now and then. And this chair really needed some tender, loving care because it's white and I have kids and we live in a cabin where things just get dirty very easily. So I'm using baking soda and vinegar and then just nice warm sudsy water to kind of get that clean. I also do not mop daily, but man, my floors needed it really bad this day. So I decided to bring out the mop. And we also have a command station for our family, and it's just growing and trying to become a little bit better. But we are doing the 1,000-hour challenge with my kids, and you can follow them on Instagram at 1,000-hour challenge, I think is what it is. But we just allow them to get outside every day and then fill that in. And then we also have a family board where we map out the week so that everybody knows what's going on. Put a shopping list up so that if we run out, we know what needs to be bought. And yeah, I'm just really falling in love with this area. So for lunch, we keep it simple. We do grass-fed beef dogs, and then my husband usually makes rice every other day for his meals, and so we just reheated that, put some kimchi on there, and lunch was served. For homeschool, we pretty much just teach Selah things that we're learning too. So this day we were trying to put a worm bin together, and I try to let my kids experiment and use things that maybe some adults wouldn't really care to use. But so here's her learning how to use a drill for the first time, and we were drilling holes into the worm bin. I had gotten dressed by this time, thankfully. I just didn't feel like doing that in the morning because I felt like I would be wasting time. So I did end up getting dressed because I try to dress decent before my husband gets home, just so I'm not in my PJs all day. So once we got done with filling the worm compost bin, it was time to get ready for supper. And I started making some sourdough breadsticks. Now I do have a bread recipe on my blog, and that's what I used for this. So I made it and set it to the side, but what we're going to do is make breadsticks out of it to go with the lasagna that we're making for supper tonight. Now while I am cooking or cleaning, a lot of times the kids will be playing, and they got the Magna-Tiles for Christmas and they have loved just building with that. So I think we may end up getting them some more of those because they just do so well with those. While I am doing the dishes, a lot of times I like to listen to podcasts. And this day I was listening to the Wild and Free podcast and talking about stepping outside of your comfort zone with homeschooling or outside of what you really know. So I love to try new things and to listen to people and gain wisdom from them. And here I am showing Selah how to cut the zucchini for our zucchini lasagna. And most 4-year-olds don't know how to use a knife, but she is learning, and she's learning very quickly. So it's not perfect, but I'm excited that she could do that while I was doing other things. It actually was a really big help. Then I was teaching Micah how to layer in the zucchini, so that gave him something to do. And he is 2.5, so that was right along his age level for him to be able to help and feel like he was a part of making supper as well. So for this zucchini lasagna, you need zucchini and some mozzarella cheese. We buy our mozzarella in a 6-pound block from Azure Standard, and we just shred it ourselves. And I was letting Selah use my new KitchenAid mixer to shred that. You'll also need an onion, and just chopping it up as fine as you can. I could probably have done this in my food processor faster, but this is fine too. Oh, and a tip, if you start feeling your eyes burn, or if you can do it before you start feeling your eyes burn, if you'll put a wet paper towel down next to you while you're chopping onions, it'll keep your eyes from watering. So we saute the onions in some avocado oil, and then I pour in a can of tomato sauce, just tomatoes, and let that cook in there too. You can also just chop up a couple or 3 or 4 Roma tomatoes if you wanted to, but this also just made it really nice and juicy. And I throw in my spices, salt, basil, oregano, and I think there's some garlic in there too. And let that cook. While that was cooking, I started rolling out my dough for my breadsticks. And then using a pizza cutter, just cutting out the breadsticks. Now, if you'll let your dough rise longer than I did, then you'll have fluffier breadsticks, but they taste good either way. Once they're cut, I put them on some parchment paper on a pan and bake them at 450 degrees for about 10 minutes. Now I'm back to the lasagna, and I'm layering my ground venison. Actually, you can use ground beef if you don't have venison, but I just layered some ground venison on there, and along with my tomato paste sauce, and spread that out. I will have a link in the description box below on exactly how to make this zucchini lasagna if you're interested in that. Pretty much the lasagna part is just about layering, so do a little zucchini, do a little meat, do a little sauce, do a little cheese, and then repeat the process. You just want to make sure that you end with the mozzarella cheese so that it's all nice and topped off with that. Now back to the breadsticks. Once you pop those out of the oven, we put some melted butter, garlic, and salt together and just drizzled that on top. And this makes the perfect side dish to go with your lasagna. And man, look at that lasagna. It's making me want another one now. It was so good, tender and juicy. The zucchini just makes it less crispy, I guess. And I actually prefer zucchini now over the regular noodles. Then I served my family, and we all ate dinner together. So thank you so much for stopping by this channel. Hopefully you will subscribe if you're new here, and don't forget to check out the blog post associated with this video. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.